China has placed sanctions on a handful of US and Canadian officials in a tit-for-tat response and growing tensions over the suppression of ethnic and religious minorities in Zhejiang province. Gail Manchin, chair of the U.S. government's Advisory Commission on International Religious Freedom, and the wife of Senator Joe the JOKE Manchin, Democrat of West Virginia, as well as Tony Perkins, vice chair for U.S. CIRF, were sanctioned. Michael Chong, vice chair of the Canadian Parliament's Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs and International Development, and the 8 members of the FAAE, Subcommittee on International Human Rights, have also been sanctioned. The Chinese government is firmly determined to safeguard its national sovereignty, security, and development interest, and urges the relevant parties to clearly understand the situation and readdress their mistakes, China's foreign ministry said when announcing the sanctions. Those that China sanction will not be allowed in China, Hong Kong, or Macau, and Chinese citizens and businesses are not allowed to communicate with the individuals. The U.S. coordinated sanctions against China with Canada, the European Union, and the United Kingdom due to China's alleged human rights abuses against. Let me get my computer to pronounce it. I know how to pronounce Muslims, but the other word. Sometimes they have these terms that are just a little bit above my pay grade.
Uyghur Muslims.
Okay, Uyghur Muslims. I forgot my headphones were plugged in. These designations include Wang Junzeng, the secretary of the party committee of the Zhejiang Production and Construction Corps, and Chen Mengao, director of the Zhejiang Public Security Bureau. The Treasury Department said when the sanctions were announced, the United States is committed to using the full breadth of its financial powers to promote accountability for the serious human rights abuses occurring in Zhejiang. And look, I said before, the United States is probably the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen when it comes to doing things that are so plainly against human rights, like our torture program, Guantanamo Bay, and then the different wars that we're involved in that are, we have going on year after to kill a whole bunch of innocent people with our drone strikes and whatnot. So we're the last individuals probably on planet Earth who should be telling anybody about human rights abuses. But I'm glad China's doing this because um, I'm really tired of these countries getting together to pick a fight with something that has nothing to do with them and trying to play the moral high ground. And people get to hide behind sanctions because really what the US's involvement in this is as part of their economic war with China, where that's their main competitor. China is basically becoming our arch enemy country, kind of like how Israel and Iran are to each other. So they're using their faux outrage over human rights abuses to play into their economic war. I'm just amused because Manchin's wife is I don't really have a problem with her at all. I don't like Manchin. So, and like I said, regular people don't care about not being able to exchange commerce and travel to China, at least Americans anyway. So if anything, this is just another sign of the elitism that a lot of these higher officials in the US have. No, we're the last country that should be going around trying to tell somebody how to conduct themselves. And you saw a lot of speeches by Trump, and you've seen some remarks by Biden that are conducive to looking at China as a threat, when really we should be partnering with them, uh, and not disguising it with this pretend concern for the rights of other people. So hopefully the sanctions get dropped on both sides, but I don't see anything wrong with China. If we're going to sanction them, they should be able to sanction us.